Ah, yes, one of the great debates of the car community. Does a wing on a front-wheel drive car actually work? A lot of people see my car and think, ew, it's a Civic with the wing on it. What a racer, he's known he's doing. Blah, 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 blah. Shut up, I don't care. Yes, I do understand, okay, that my car might be ugly to you. I don't care. First of all, I didn't build my car for looks. Okay, I built it to be functional. But if you ask me, I think my car is pretty and honestly, if I could, I would oh wait, it's not a girl. Sorry. Alright, all weird jokes aside, let's get to the point here. Yes, a front-wheel drive car can have a rear wing and it be completely functional. I mean, if you look at time attack cars, you'll see some insane front-wheel drive cars that have massive aero on it. What amazes me is people see these cars that obviously have had hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars of development put into them, and they'll still question whether or not the aero works. Like, you're gonna sit here and tell me that these companies really wasted all that time and money to have a car that's not functional? Makes no sense to me. It does really frustrate me when people hop into my comment section saying things like, wings on front-wheel drive cars don't work, that's rice. And it's like, excuse me, I've tracked my car. Alright, fine, only one time. I don't care, I only tracked my car one time. At least I put it on the track, okay? No matter what though, there is science behind the fact that a front-wheel drive car can benefit from a wing. Honestly, if I got into all the technical aspects of aero, this video would be probably 5 days long, which we're not going to do, but I'll explain the basics of why a front-wheel drive car can, and sometimes will, need a wing. First off, some wings may just be for stability. For example, the 10th generation Civic Type R has a rear wing from the factory. Although that wing's not really meant for downforce, it's meant just for stability. At high-end speeds, it's meant to keep the car stable and keep the rear end a little bit planted, but the amount of downforce it makes is pretty minuscule compared to a wing like mine. So not all wings make crazy downforce and are meant to push the rear end of the car down. Some of them, actually a lot of them from the factory, are meant just to keep the car more stable at high speeds. Now, if we get into more aggressive wings like mine or that time attack car that we saw, those wings obviously are meant to generate downforce, and quite a bit of it. In front-wheel drive cars, yes, they are front-wheel drive, and a lot of people tend to believe that only rear-wheel drive cars will benefit because the power goes to the rear. Well, that's simply incorrect. You see, you can oversteer a front-wheel drive car just like a rear-wheel drive one. The only difference is, it's not really power-induced. Take a car like a BMW M2 for example. If you give it too much power in a corner, you're gonna slide or drift or whatever. Front wheel drive, obviously you can't do that. However, if you have really stiff suspension like coilovers and a rear sway bar, what you're doing is eliminating body roll and all that weight transfer, which makes the rear end a little more easy to slide. This is where you would benefit from a rear wing, because obviously you don't want to oversteer on a corner. Having that extra grip in the rear along with no body roll will really improve your lap times. Now, it's also important to balance your aero. You have a lot of rear end grip, well then you're going to tend to understeer. And if you're really trying to go fast and you have a lot of power and you just want to set some really good lap times, a big front splitter will matter as well. A perfectly balanced aero setup will benefit any car, whether it's front wheel drive, rear wheel drive, all wheel drive, it doesn't matter. If the aero is balanced, it'll help out regardless. And so when people like to argue that front wheel drive cars can't benefit from any downforce in the rear, like I said, they're simply wrong, because you can balance air out in any way you can. My wing's adjustable, and I'll be honest with you, I'm not even on coilovers or a rear sway bar yet. The reason I have that wing is because, well, I gutted the car a little bit, and because I don't have as much weight in the rear, it actually really helps keep the rear end planted, and really planted at that. So even my car isn't textbook for rear end downforce, but my car still benefits from it, and that's mainly because my wing's adjustable. I can adjust it to however much downforce I want. I have it set fairly aggressive. When I tracked the car, it was pretty neutral, and I could tell that I needed a little more rear end downforce. So the next time that I go to the track, I'm going to have it set a little bit more aggressive. But no matter what, my car did benefit from the wing. It would have benefited more with a rear sway bar and stiffer suspension, but that's for next time. By the way, when I talk about aero being perfectly balanced, I don't mean 50-50. Each car is unique. You might need more downforce in the front than the rear, or vice versa. It's all specific to the car. This is why it's really important to CFD your car or wind tunnel test your car if you're really serious about racing, because honestly, the littlest change in a car can mean everything. I try to keep this video short, because if you want to really get into aero, you can watch hour-long videos explaining it, and I'm just not that educated like they are. All I know is the basics. But yes, to answer the question, a front-wheel drive car can absolutely benefit from a wing. Take it from me, someone whose car is not even properly built for a giant wing on a front-wheel drive car. It does work for me, and obviously I will be upgrading to those parts where I get coilovers and a rear sway bar. That's coming in due time, but even just for now, I am happy with my wing. It does help, and it's not just for looks. And if you think my car is ugly, that's fine, okay? Whatever, I get it in the comment section all the time. If you want to tell me that, go ahead, have at it. You waste your time. But yes, it works. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. I put a lot of effort into this, and if you really like the content, please follow along. I'm not going to ask you to subscribe, but if you don't, I'm going to come to your house and I'm going to eat all your cookies you left for Santa Claus. You understand me? If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comments below. Thank you for watching.